All right, we're recording. Welcome, everyone. We're really excited that you're here. I'm going to change the view so it's speaker view. Hopefully you see the same thing that we're seeing. So we are all on here. We're all coaches, and we're all on here just to share a little bit about what we do, how we do it, and a little more about this coach life you hear so much about. So my name is Tara Bilek. I've been a coach for almost 5 years, which is absolutely insane to think about. It feels like just yesterday. I started coaching when I was going back to school as a teacher. I was a teacher, 3 kids, 5 and under, worst timing ever, but I knew we did need something financially. And it was like, oh, the doors opened and I was scared as anything. I didn't know what to do. I hated social media. But I knew that, there was a reason why I found it. There was a reason why this door was open. So I jumped in and went back to school as a teacher and just ran. I just ran. And I remember just feeling like every time I would talk to a challenger or someone that was joining one of my groups for accountability, I didn't know everything. I knew nothing about groups or any of that, but I knew that if I could just hold their hand through a fitness program or nutrition, they would feel better and have more energy with their kids. And that's all I wanted to do. And it just kind of snowballed. I was able to leave teaching because of this business. Not pushing sales, not focusing on, getting, but focusing on serving. And that's what I've always led with. And I think the best coaches lead that way. The most successful coaches lead that way. And now, I retired my husband. He's going into ministry. We're here in Florida, long way from my Connecticut people. But, the sky's the limit with this, guys. It could be a part-time thing or a full-time thing. It could be whatever you make of it. So I'm really excited to introduce Danielle. Danielle's been a coach for 2 years?
Actively, yeah.
2 years. So Danielle, tell us a little bit of why you jumped into coaching.
So I jumped into coaching as, I was a challenger for a while. I basically needed a change. Just a little about me quick. I was a teacher, a special education teacher. I then was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years and definitely was stuck in that mom rut, needed a change, needed to do something for myself. I was never, ever, ever very athletic. I was like the girl who skipped gym class, kind of lazy. But after 3 kids, I was like, okay, I got to do something. So I hopped into a challenge group and got amazing, amazing results with a Beachbody program and lost 20 pounds. And it just completely changed my life. Not only in the physical, but energy wise, mindset wise, community wise, and stuff like that. So it just completely changed me. So again, I started as a challenger, and I was a challenger for about probably a year until I was, I was asked to be a coach. I was told I'd make a good coach because I got great results from the program. I was telling all my friends about it. Everybody was asking me what I was doing because they noticed a difference in me. So I was saying, no, it's not for me. I don't have time. I just didn't see how I could fit it in with 3 kids and all of that. But eventually I said yes. I was a discount coach for a while. And then I was adding so many people to my coaches challenge group that I felt bad and I wanted to help her out. And I said, well, let me help you run the group because, we had a mix of all of our people in there. So once I actually started doing it, I just fell in love with it. So I'm so glad I said yes. I didn't intentionally sign up to be a coach to coach, but I kind of fell into it that way. And I'm just so glad that it happened because it's completely changed my life.
So what do you do? What is coaching?
So coaching is, you can run a challenge group if you want to, or you can pair up with someone. That's the best part of it. You can pair up with other coaches to run challenge groups, or like I said, you don't have to run your own. But you're basically following a Beachbody program, which is amazing, following the nutrition program that comes along with the program, usually the workout program, and you get these amazing, amazing results from it. And you're basically in this private closed Facebook group surrounded by a ton of like-minded people who want the same thing for themselves. They want to better themselves. So the community aspect of it is awesome. Just to be able to wake up and check into that group with those women, check in with them, coach them along with the program, and kind of like the whole group is just helping each other move along and get results and be motivated. So that's a huge part of it. It's the best part of it, actually, is the community aspect of it. So I had no idea that that's what I needed, that was what was kind of like missing in my life, was just the camaraderie, the friendships, the community, somewhere to check in with like-minded women every day. So.
And do you find, like, I know when I joined, I found that it was such like a positive place where outside of sometimes our life, it's not so positive, like work and all that.
Yeah, it's you're surrounded by people who are, like I said, going after the same goal. You're suddenly surrounded by go-getters, people who are motivated. You know what they say, like, you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. Imagine that times like 100. It's just amazing. It just propels your life forward in a way that you can't even imagine or explain to someone unless you're actually in it. And when you're around people who are up here, right? You want to be up here and you're here, you automatically want to match that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You rise up, for sure.
Totally rise up, totally level up.
So what about posting and stuff? Like, I know I get that question a lot, like posting, do I have to post all day long? Like, how did you start doing that? And
so anybody can run their groups the way that they want, the way that works best for them. But the way I do it is we just post something motivational in the morning. It could be an image, it could be a quote, it could be something informational about nutrition, about how much water you should be drinking, something like that, but something quick and basic. And then throughout the day, people might comment on it. And then at night, we always do an accountability check-in, which can look different. I always tell my ladies, you can post your whole day, tell me what you ate, did you work out, how much water did you drink? But I say check in the way that holds you most accountable. I know for me, that works for me the best. When I know I have to check in with a group, I'm going to naturally want to eat better that day, or definitely do my workout, because I don't want to go into a group and say that I didn't do my workout. So you're just motivated to want to do it. But sometimes we use like little color-coded hearts, like, how was your day? Was it, if it was red, it was awesome. You were right on point. If it was green, maybe you will have to make a few adjustments. But so it's posting usually twice a day. And what I usually do is I sit down on a Sunday night and I sometimes can schedule my post for the week, and it makes it so much easier. And it doesn't really take a lot of time at all. But I make sure I'm connected with my women. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be in there all day long, because we don't want to be doing this all day long. We have lives to live. We're busy moms and stuff. And that's like the beauty of it, is that you can take the time that you need whenever you want to. So, you can have set hours, like 8 o'clock in the morning, you do your post, or whatever works for you. You could do it at 6 if that works for you. You could do your check-ins at 5. You could schedule them for the week on Sunday. Totally up to you when you want to do this and how much time you want to spend on it.
Right. And I think it just snowballs, and people find you through word of mouth, because you're working with your sister, you're working with your cousin, you're working with people close to you, and then it just spreads and spreads. And on social media as well, we will teach you how to learn. Were you familiar with social media when you started?
A little bit, yeah. I was on social media. I was on Facebook. I was definitely a Facebook person, but I was not posting anything. I was posting mostly pictures of my kids. Like my profile picture was my kids. And now I share a lot more about myself. And that can be scary for some people, but actually what I found is people connect with you, and a lot of times people are going through the same exact thing. I love when I post something and it could be about how I'm feeling or something about my fitness journey or something unrelated, something totally just that has to do with what I'm going through in my life. And I post it and I get the best messages and comments. Thank you so much. I was feeling the same way. And now I can get through this because of you, or I saw your post. And it's like, it's just the best feeling in the world to be able to help someone, even if it's unrelated to fitness and wellness.
Yes, I love that. Thanks, Danielle. All right, so I'm going to ask Stacy a couple questions. Stacy joined 3 years ago, 4 years ago? How long? 4 years. And guys, I will never forget this girl calling me up with her New York accent. And she was like, I want to do this. I just did the 21-day fix. And I know there's people that don't know how to use it. I need to do this to help other women. So Stacy, that's the foundation of why you joined, right?
It really is. I was overweight my entire life. I have always struggled with my weight since elementary school. I was always the fat girl. Oh, she's so pretty. If she would just lose some weight. I was always that one. So I was introduced to the 21-day fix, and I was your star challenger. Very, very outgoing, loved the fitness, the community on Facebook, loved the idea of having that accountability. And I was approached to be a coach. And truthfully, I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't need to make any money at all. So I front for any type of income initially. So I was like, nah, I don't need to do that. I'll just stay being a challenger. Ran into a girlfriend and she's like, you look great. What are you doing? And I don't think it was so much physically. I think it was just my demeanor, my energy, my excitement, just the way I was carrying myself. And I said, I just finished a round of the 21-day fix. And she said, oh, I just bought it. And I said, oh, who'd you buy it from? She goes, oh, my husband, this guy at my job, his wife sells it. So I bought it from her. I said, well, do you like it? You know, what do you think? And she said, I haven't opened the box yet. I was like, why? I was like, okay. At that second, I felt like I had to tell her everything I had experienced the prior 3 weeks, everything I learned, how I felt, what to do. And I said, oh my God. I said, I have to go be a coach. Because if she is sitting with an unopened box on her counter, there are other women who are doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So I had seen Tara on social media, never met her before in my life. And I honestly don't know why I reached out to her. I can't say there was a specific post or a specific reason. I can say that it was consistency that attracted me to her, and that when I was ready and when it was time, a good time for me, she popped in my mind because she showed up every day. So to me, I felt that she would be a good mentor for me, that she would be available, that she would lead me in the right direction. And that's truly why I reached out to you. And I said, listen, I got to get on the phone. I'll never forget it. And I remember that day like clear as day. I remember where I was sitting. I remember everything. It was a summer day. It was in June. Mm-hmm. And I was like, listen, I am going to rock this shit. I was like, I have people to help. I have a story to tell. Just sign me up. What do I do? And that was the end of that.
I love it.
4
I
years
was
later,
scared.
I don't.
I'm like, I hope I can help her.
4 years later, I have not looked back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Have there been ups and downs? Yes. Is this business a roller coaster? Yes. But you have to have a very strong why. You have to have a why so deep that it will put out any negative fire that comes your way. Your flame, your why flame needs to burn brighter than any other fire that comes your way. And I believe that helping other women, empowering them, and having them being able to be financially secure and independent and feeling confident and sexy and have energy, that's my why. That's what I thrive on, and that's what keeps me going. And if I looked away tomorrow, I would not have an identity. I would be completely empty. As sad as that may sound.
Well, it's so true. Like, we're put here for a reason to serve others, and we get to serve women. Like, a lot of times women are what holds their families together, and we get to serve women to help them be the best mom, be the best wife, be the best person for themselves, all of that. So I think that's really cool. So what are some of the common misconceptions that you hear from newer coaches or people that want to join but might be nervous?
Oh, number one, I can't post the way you do. I'm not as outgoing. I'm not as confident. Can you give me an ounce of your confidence? So that's what I get. So I say, hold up. I said, do you know some of the most successful coaches were extreme introverts when they first started? And I said, yes, it can be intimidating. Yes, it can be scary, but I am because I believe in our products. I believe in our programs. I believe in our company and what we stand for. So I know that I'm not posting to make a sale or to be salesy. I'm posting because I'm going to help somebody. So I always say, I understand your fears. I understand your worries. But if you are just posting truly from your heart and coming from the right direction, it becomes easier. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I always say, you are a challenger first and foremost. So when you are in the challenge group, start posting in our private group. Get more comfortable with that. Start that way, and become more comfortable because it's a private group. And the more you do that, the more you feel. And nobody's telling you that you have to go and blast social media with a million different pictures and stories. Start slow, be a challenger, focus on yourself. And once you start seeing results, that confidence level is going to rise and posting will become easier. That's one thing. Another thing I get is, I don't want to run a challenge group by myself. I don't know how to run a challenge group. I'm scared. What do I do? And I say, you don't have to, because we run them as teams, as groups, as a community. You will always have a challenge group going to invite somebody to. There is always some place to bring any new person on board, to plug them in. They will be welcomed with open arms. I said, you can coach for 3 years and never run your own challenge group. That's fine. It's okay. We have plenty of coaches who do that. So that's another misconception. It's a worry for some people, and that's something you don't have to worry about. Mm-hmm. Another misconception or fear or a what if is, what happens if I don't get enough people to join me? What happens if I can't get anybody on board? That's okay. Because guess what? There is no quota to fill. There is no certain amount of product to sell. This is your own business. You are your own boss. And if you choose to bring on maybe 3 people a month because you don't want to pay for your shakes and you want the cost of your shakes covered, that's okay. You know, if you want to make a couple of extra $100 a month, maybe to make a car payment, you can do that too. The ball's in your court. So no one is going to put demands on you. And that's a big fear new coaches or prospects have. So that's something else that I wanted to put you at ease. Let's see another misconception.
The one about I have to be in perfect shape. Like I have to be at the end of my challenge.
Oh, okay. Thank you for reminding me. That's all right. Who the hell's going to listen to me? Because I'm not defined. I'm not a fitness instructor. I'm not in great shape. I have 50 pounds to lose. Guess what? Those are the coaches that do the best. You want to know why? Because they're relatable. They're real. And people want real. It is not the destination. It is the journey to the destination that people relate to. So I can tell you that there are coaches that are in the process of transforming themselves and talking about that along the way. What do you think? We all don't have bumps in the road? Just because we're coaches doesn't mean we're perfect. We like our pizza, we like our beer, we like our wine, and that's okay. You're human. So don't think you need to be this perfect Barbie doll image, because most people want to vomit from the Barbie doll image. You know? So if you look at all of us, even here tonight, there's only 4 of us on here. We're all different. We're different. We look different. We all have different, we all weigh differently. We're all on different stages of our journey. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Thank you, Stacy. You just, wrap that up in a little bow. That was perfect. That was awesome.
You're
so
welcome.
True. Everything that she said, I was just like this. Because exactly that's how everyone feels. And guys, that's the thing. It's like we're all at different stages of our lives. You can make this whatever you want. There's successful coaches that don't have kids, that are just out of college, that are 60 years old, that are like, that's the cool thing about it. That's a really cool thing about it. Okay. So I'm just going to chat a little bit about how do you earn? Okay. So like, how do you make money at this? I'm just going to simplify this really quickly, guys. You do make commission. You make commission on whatever you sell. It could be, usually it's a challenge pack because it's Shakeology and your Beachbody On Demand. We have tons of other amazing products like our performance line that like my brother uses, my husband uses. It's a whey protein. It's a pre-workout. We have creatine. We have all that stuff that the big dudes like, but I also use as well. We have beach bars. We have so many things that you can get commission on. When I started, it was just like a challenge pack. That was basically it. And now there's so many other options, not just one size fits all. So you get 25% on everything that you sell. And when you're selling challenge packs, you make a pretty good income with selling a challenge pack. You also make money if you sign up a certain amount of coaches in a week. There's all these little perks that they give us if you're really going for it. They have perks for trips. We've all been on Beachbody trips, and those you earn by just getting 3 people to join you every month. Really. It's hitting Success Club, and that's just changing 3 people's life. So you're adding 3 people to our challenge group. It doesn't have to be your own, like Stacy said. It could be, someone else's. It could be mine. It could be it could be whoever you're joining. So we get perks like that, like trips. We also earn money by building a team. Now you get a team cycle bonus. The cool thing about this is that you basically build a volume underneath you. So you are building a team of people that link arms together that is doing this with you. Now, what I love about this is that this is what I love. It's really that, picture it like this. You are the CEO of your own business. You're going to make whatever effort you put out there. Like, you can't just sit back and say, oh, I want to, make money, but I'm not willing to work. You have to be willing to work. You have to work in order to create that income. But it's amazing when you build a team, what that income could look like. That residual income that comes when you're not selling anything that week. Like, you may not sell anything for a month and you're getting this residual income. Okay. You could go on vacation and you're still getting this residual income. So team cycle bonus is something that you would learn in the new coach training, which we would put you in. And you're probably asking yourself right now, because I did, when I heard about teams, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to build a team, because who would want to do this with me? I just want to help people, or I want to do this alongside. But that's what building a team is. Like, people are going to love your groups, or people are going to love our tribe, and they're going to want to do the same. So when people start seeing results, not only in their outside, their body, but your mindset changes. Your attitude changes, your energy changes, everything changes, and people start to ask you what you're doing. And that just snowballs. So when you're helping that one person can transform her life and then can help more because they join as a coach. So don't think that no one's going to join you. It's insane what happens when you help people achieve their goals. They want to help other people because we're made to help people. That's what we're really made to do. So it's just awesome how that works. But our compensation plan is unbelievable. And that's something that you'll learn more about and get into depth with in our in our training. So we'll teach you everything that you need to know. But we have a lot of perks. Like, we get gifts every month. Hitting Success Club, that's adding 3 people a month. You get a gift from corporate. It could be a hat, a t-shirt. Sometimes it's a PD. It's like someone that wrote a book. Like, we just had someone that, what's her name? Stacy, help me. Rachel Hollis. She wrote Girl Wash Your Face. She did a personal development chat with us, and it was unbelievable. So we get these perks every month that we get. And there's also bonuses, quarterly bonuses. So as you grow in your business, you can hit these big quarterly bonuses, which is a good chunk of change. So those are the ways that you would earn. What I want to ask you guys, I'm going to introduce our next speaker, but if you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask them in the thread, because Kara is popping up next, and she's in the hot seat, and she's going to answer your questions. I'm sure she's been scrolling and probably see some of them. But Kara, I met she's a teacher. She was a math teacher at the school that I was teaching at, and we actually met because we were like the new teachers in the school, and we met there. And then I think she left, and then I left, and then we lost touch, and then we reconnected. So, Kara, what happened? Tell me your story.
Okay, so very similar to Stacy. Like, I was somebody, like, growing up that, like, I always just was like a little bit heavier, and people would say that my mom usually, actually, to be honest with you, would say things like, like, you're so pretty, you just need to lose a few pounds, and of course that's never helpful. Like, so I definitely struggled with weight loss and self-image my entire life. And once I had my kids, I think I thought to myself, well, now I'm a mom, so now I've got the ultimate reason to never have to get in shape. Like, I'm good because I'm a mom, and moms don't have to. Like, we don't need to do that. And I ran into Tara. We were the only people at this trampoline park. And she had her 3 kids, and I had my 2, and my second was a baby. And I just remember watching her jumping with her kids. Like literally, I'm like, and like I had zero energy to do that. Like I went on the trampoline with my son for like 5 seconds and I was like, I'm good, I'm done. And I'm like watching her like jumping with her kids and like looking like she's enjoying it. And I'm like, I don't know what this girl is on, but all right. And so, and I kept looking at her and I was like, she looks familiar. We kept looking at each other. We were the only ones there. And finally was like, do I know you? And she remembered me. Like she was like, yeah, we taught together. I was like, oh yeah. I had serious mom brain. And she was telling me that she got to be home with her kids. And I was like, me too. Very similar stories there where like it just a lot of things happened to fall into place where we both got to be home with our kids. And I remember her being like, isn't it awesome? And I was like, no, like I'm exhausted all the time. Like it's not awesome, but okay. So she said she was doing something on Facebook and I was like, oh, I'll follow you because I was like dying for like human interaction. So I started following her on Facebook and I was like, she's doing something more than something small. Like she had like 12,000 people following her. I'm like, what is she doing? So then I started watching her and I'm like serious. Like I had no interest in working out, like zero. I would watch her fitness stuff and I was like, no, like, but I loved her motivational stuff. Like I loved she was like so confident about her walk with God. Like she would post about it and it like drew me in because I had been a while. Like I had become a Christian when I was in college and I had not seen somebody being so like bold about her beliefs since I was like at college. So it had been like years, I felt like of most people were not like that. And so seeing that like drew me in. And so then I just started watching her. And I was like, maybe you could help my husband. like he likes to work out. Maybe you could help him because he had like gained a lot from me being pregnant. And then my son didn't sleep very well and just having 2 kids, I don't know. So I tried to connect them and like, he just wouldn't do it. And then, it was in the summer. I remember saying to him, I was like, it was like a seed had been planted. I was like, I think I'm supposed to go join this girl. Like, and he's like, really? And I'm like, I know it's workouts. I know. Like, but I think I'm supposed to go do this. And I didn't, I have like a pride issue where I'm like I don't really want to tell her I need help. So I'm like, so I kind of, I was at a MOPS meeting and they were looking for speakers. So I was like, oh, I know somebody that could speak to the moms about nutrition and health and stuff. She's really into it. And like, I could maybe message her and see if she'd come talk. And I was thinking she'd say no. But I messaged her and she was like, oh yeah. She's like, I'd love to come talk to the moms there. I'm like, really? Cause like you seem like you'd be a busy person. So then in my head, I was like, well, now I'm going to buy a challenge pack from her because I owe her for speaking. That was how I justified it in my head.
I didn't even know this.
Because I was like, I'm not gonna say I actually need any help. I'm just gonna, in my head, that's how I got there, where I was like, I'm gonna join her because she came and talked for us, and that's the right thing to do. And I signed up and had no clue what I had signed up for at all, like none. When the box got to my house and I started reading through the book, I was like, Jacob, I'm like, we have to do a workout every day. I was like, I thought it was only 4 times a week, like, which is awesome, by the way. The next program is 4 times a week, which I'm like, yes, that's more my style. But it was, yes, I'm very excited about it. Stacy just gave us a thumbs up. So yeah, I had no idea what I'd signed up for at all. And I hated working out. I just knew that I liked her. So, and I couldn't tell anybody that I didn't know what I signed up for because I'm stubborn. And when somebody puts a challenge in front of me, I'm like, well, I got to do it, you know? So it made me do it for 21 days. And wouldn't you know it, if you do something for 21 days, you actually get results. You actually see changes and you feel better. And then I was like, dang it. Like this whole time I had no idea what I was missing out on. None. Like no idea. My entire life I thought that workout was just pure torture, that eating healthy was just so that you could lose weight on the scale. Like that's the only reason you would do it. Like I had no idea what I was missing out on. So as soon as I caught on to like that you actually feel a lot better and you start to to be able to live your life in a much different headspace, I was like sold. So, yeah, so I guess, and then the rest is history. I decided to jump in, even though I had no idea what I was doing.
And her results are amazing, and like her whole life has changed, and her family eats well, and like her husband has lost how much?
Are you at 90? Almost 90. Almost 90.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's do, Kara, question. Do you see any questions below?
I saw somebody asking a question about commission. I don't see any questions for me. They were asking, and Heather Marin answered. Saying they like my recent changes are inspired by them.
Can you talk about the beginning of coaching, building relationships, the time it takes? Because as a new coach, it seems slow. Well, I think you can definitely touch on that, because I feel like you're so great at, building that community and building friendships. Uh-oh, it looks like you paused. Oh no. Maybe it's me. Amy, is she like paused?
Yeah, she's stuck.
Oh.
Her body stopped.
Okay, Amy's gonna pop up so we don't take up all of your time. All right, Amy, tell me, how did you start, and what did that look like?
Okay, so I tried out Beachbody products after I had my first son. I done P90X from start to finish as I was breastfeeding. Absolutely loved it, lost all the baby weight. Didn't even know about Shakeology at the time, or that you could coach. Then I went ahead, had my second baby, and we live up in the mountains in Colorado, and we're really isolated. And I have a lot of girlfriends up here, but I'm one of the only girlfriends I have up here that have children. And my husband was working a lot at night, and he was never home, and I was just constantly by myself, and I felt pudgy, and my older kid like hated me because we had a brand new baby, and my younger kid was obviously like little, and I was just feeling miserable about myself. And just, I've always loved working out. I always loved eating healthy, but I always would tend to fluctuate between like 15, 20 pounds, like one way or the other. It was just never consistent. And I just really, like, my thing was like, I really, bought into the community. And so one of my girlfriends from high school started posting some stuff on social media, and I was like, what the heck is she doing? Like, I don't even know what she's doing, So kind of watched her for a couple weeks, and then I reached out to her. And the first time I had signed up, I signed up twice, I think, before I started coaching. Because I did try Shakeology. Maybe somebody gave me a sample. I can't remember. But I tried it. And I was like, I'm just not into this. Like, this isn't my thing, whatever. And I think, Tara, I was like complaining in one of your challenge groups. I was like, this is so terrible, like not knowing what was happening. But the thing with Shakeology, you guys, you have to find your recipe. Like, everybody has their recipe that is so amazing. And that is like what once I decided to sign up with my girlfriend, like what had happened. And so I signed up, and I had no intention, before I signed up, she's like, well, do you want to be a coach? I'm like, no, like, I can't coach people. Like, I can't even coach myself, And I was like super miserable. And she's like, well, why don't, just think about it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try it for a little bit, whatever. And she was a newer coach. And so that night she's like, well, I'm going to send you some training stuff. I'm like, okay. Well, I drank some wine. My husband was at night shift, and I got locked into this training that we have, which is so amazing. And I cried like the whole night watching these women, and I'm like, oh my God, these are real people. Like, they are real people. They all have come from different walks of life. Like, they've all struggled. A lot of them had kids. A lot of them were married. A lot of them went from nothing to like everything. And I was just crying and going through all this training. So the next day I called her, and I was like, I am in. And like, since then I've been like a lifer. So I've now been coaching for 2.5 years. And it's been by far, well, and when I first started coaching too, there was a push to go to a leadership retreat in New Hampshire. And that's what bought me in. I was like, I need to go there. Like, I need to be surrounded by women that, oh no, I'm falling off. I need to be surrounded by women that make me feel good, that are obviously living a better, healthier life. Like, that is what pushed me and made me like fired up. So I freaking ran, and I've been running since. And I'm like, I will never change. I love it. It's the best thing ever.
And that's the coolest thing, guys. You have the ability to come to our retreat in Florida in January. We have another one, and that's going to be so much fun. So, okay. Now, so people that are like, okay, I really want to do this, you guys. I vibe with you guys. What can they expect like when they join?
So when people join, I mean, the thing, and this is what was so interesting. Like, I didn't understand that, like, we had training and that we had support. Like, I just thought, oh my God, like, I'm going to sign up and then all of a sudden I'm going to have to like find people to join me. Like, what the heck does that even mean? You know, like, I didn't understand. And we are so lucky. We are filled with training, and it depends on where you want to go, like how far you want to go with this. And like, your coach will reach out to you. You guys will have a meeting and kind of decide like what your goals are. Like, maybe you want to get into it to run. Like, I got into it. Or, like I said, I got into it just to get the discount on Shakeology. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll try to make a little money to, you know, save on my Shakeology. And then I was like, no, I'm all in. And the thing that's cool about this is you can kind of ebb and flow between that depending on what season you are in your life. And you are filled with support. You like, we branch off like as little like groups sometimes, and we do different things together. And, you know, we'll pair you up with people that are the same vibe as you. And we all just support each other, because no matter where you are, if you're a brand new day one coach or you've been coaching for 10 years, we're all on a team. And it is like, that's what's so cool. So like, you've got tons of support. It's really neat.
Thanks, Amy. I appreciate that.
Huh.
All right. So you're probably like, well, how do I do this? Like, what's the next step? The next step is that you reach out to the person that sent you this or brought you to this group, and you're going to ask them, Amy, I'm dying. And
I need a new sticky.
And guys, yes, it's always this fun. So when we're on live calls and we do our game plan calls on Sunday nights, we've taken a little break because it's summer, but we game plan and we set some goals, and we don't only set some business goals, we set some like life goals, family goals for the week. So this is going to enhance not only your fitness and your wellness and your life, it's going to enhance your family's life. It's going to enhance every part of your life. So you're going to ask your coach, okay, I want to join, I want to do this. They're going to hook you up and give you some options. And the best option is joining with a challenge pack, because it's the most cost effective. You get Shakeology, which is 30 days of Shakeology. There are 30 meals in a bag. And then you will get your 1 year of Beachbody On Demand with, and maybe you're going to do Lift. Lift is the program that we're doing next. We start Monday if you want to jump in, but that's a lifting program. But we have so many others. Beachbody On Demand is amazing. There's something for everyone. My mom uses it. She does a dancing program. My daughter uses it. She does this country line dancing thing. You know, I use it. I'm lifting. There's cardio. There's Pilates, yoga, all of it. There's tons to choose from. So if lifting isn't your thing, there's other ones that you can do. So you would get that, and it comes in a package. And then when you buy that, you're using the product, because we never want you to try to share something you're not using, because that would be awkward. And you get your sign-up fee waived, because normally to sign up as a coach is $40. And the only thing that's required as a coach to pay, this is the only requirement, is that you pay your monthly fees, and that's $16.95. Sometimes it's $15.95, depending on where you live. Like taxes, it's just weird. But that is so you have your website, and it's basically for your website. So you don't have to do home parties. You don't have to travel and, you know, stock stuff and take all these products with you. Beachbody takes care of it. You send people your link when they're ready, and they buy from the website. So that's the only requirement monthly. That's it. You get 25% off everything that you buy. Shakeology, protein, whatever you want. So that's another perk that I forgot to mention earlier. So here's the thing. You could sit there and just be like, you know, this is something I always want to do, but I don't know if it's the right timing. There's never a perfect time. Like all of us can say, there's never a perfect time. I was going back to work. I didn't have time for this. I had 3 kids, 5 and under. There was never an ideal time, but you have to make it the perfect time. You have to just say, I'm in. Because the worst case scenario, you get into really great shape, you feel good about yourself, and you don't make this a business. The best case is that you join us. You have a lot of fun, especially on these calls. You join us on our trips when we travel. you know, you become part of our tribe. You join a community of people that are uplifting you and that want more for you. And we all have different goals, but we're all rising up together to reach those goals. So that's like, I mean, that's why we're here. And that's why we're lifers. We're all lifers. So we're excited that you're here. And if you guys have any other questions, you can comment and we'll pop back in here tomorrow to answer them. But it is the perfect time. Bye, guys.